Politics, everyone. Good to have you with us. I'm your host, Garrison Douglas, and this is our first episode of Regal Politics on video. So there's exciting stuff. We're doing great things here. My guest or panel tonight is going to be Regal Post contributor Jonathan Nguyen and Regal Post social media director David Jun. All right, guys. So as we know, Tuesday, midterm elections.
Pretty big event over in Georgia.
Yeah, that's an understatement. So let's just get right into it, guys. Real quick, what do you think, David, will be the effects if Republicans control the Senate? Like, what's the big deal?
Well, I think this is just my assumptions, my opinion. That if Republicans were to control the Senate, it would be harder for President Obama to kind of outgo with his future plans if he has any more.
But he hasn't been able to do that since 2008.
Well, that is true.
He'll have less influence over the Senate than he has before.
True.
I mean, 3/4 of the Senate is going to be Republican.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty hard for him to pass anything. Well, don't have any influence.
I mean, that makes sense, but...
I mean, I agree with Jonathan. It's... At first, Obama, of course, he's having a hard time, but now with more Republicans in the Senate, it's going to be even harder for him to do anything else. He's, like Jonathan said, he's going to lose more influence in the Senate.
But what I'm trying to figure out here, and maybe you guys can help me out with this, is with Republicans right now, their strategy, and you actually wrote an article online about Ebola, but it seems like Republicans have been, I guess, attacking voters with more fear.
Yeah,
with no
they've been trying
strategy.
to pull scare tactics.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too, and so, I mean, is there a way of trying to get voters and trying to influence?
Well, I mean, there's one people I know who get scared easily and vote at the same time. It's old people.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, look at the
old and young.
Oh, yeah, I guess that too. Yeah.
Look at the gun laws. Once we had the gun problem, the gun laws were more of an issue, and people were kind of getting scared with that. So you're having the gun problem before, and now you have the Ebola problem stacking up. So now, obviously, the pressure is going to be on President Obama and the Democratic Party right now.
No, I feel the Ebola problem has actually been dwindling now. People are starting to realize that it isn't as big a deal as when it first came to the U.S. When it first came to the U.S., when we first had that Patient Zero, was it Tim? It was Tim.
He was from Liberia.
Yeah, he was from Liberia.
Yeah.
People were freaking out because they didn't know exactly what Ebola was. They thought it was going to be a widespread epidemic. For the most part, other than him, there's not been that many cases of infected people in the U.S.
I mean, what about that New York guy? I mean,
yeah, I know
that guy was crazy. I mean, he actually did more in one day than I've done in a lifetime with Ebola, which actually made me feel kind of bad about my life.
What was that? He a day after he got sick, he went bowling and he took public transit throughout New York. And then he realized how sick he was. He went to the hospital. I
want to know at what point he decided I was sick.
My problem is that we can't control that. We can't control how stupid people could be. That was his own fault.
Yeah.
We couldn't really stop that or stop what he did.
Well,
it was the fact that he did it and he knew it was going on and he didn't own up to the fact that he might have had Ebola or be sick.
Well, what I don't. Okay, so what?
Because he was treating Ebola patients over in Africa. So once he got sick, he should have realized that maybe it could be Ebola. Even if he knew, it was a definitive case, that should still be an underlying factor considering what he went through.
And considering the fact that this guy decided, I'm not going to go to work because there's a possibility I have Ebola.
Exactly.
So he protected his own co-workers, but decided to put the rest of New York City at risk.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I find insane. But I mean, that's one part that Republicans have been putting out there. You also have ISIS.
The case with the Chicago lady was also that one case when she was from Texas and she went to Chicago, went back and forth. That airline, I can't remember the specific airline name, but I believe that she had Ebola, and I believe she was a nurse at Texas treating the library patient.
Did she refuse to be quarantined? Is it the same case? Or
no, it's a different case.
Okay. I think
different from the Liberia person, but she was traveling to Chicago and Texas back and forth because of her family, and then they figured out she had Ebola. and she took the public airline transit. So now you have that going into effect. Some people actually had a scare because it was aerial transit. Now, I did read up some facts about Ebola. It does spread out faster if it's kind of like a bomb place. Kind of
I feel it spreads faster if people aren't educated as to what was and how it's.
Well, it's more like a hygiene.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a hygiene issue. They actually figured out that if you have better hygiene than average person in the world, and I believe that was just basic necessities, just brushing your teeth and keeping yourself washed at least once every two days at least, and not having.
The reason why it spread in Africa so quickly is the fact that people weren't educated. They were scared. People thought it was more of a curse, or it wasn't. They didn't know exactly that it was a disease or a viral infection, and that's what scared them off. And they weren't as high. They didn't keep personal hygiene to the level and their medical infrastructures were absolutely terrible.
Same thing with Texas. They didn't have a infrastructure with the proper infrastructure like Emory did with the actual rooms trying to contain Ebola. So now
Emory is going to get a lot of money. I can already guarantee that. I said they're the only state, or they're the only hospital in this country that has decided that we're going to cure every single time Ebola comes. We're going to cure. Black, white, no matter who you are, you're cured at
That's
Emory.
our job. We're going to do it.
I mean, they're actually the only ones that decide that they're going to
now, if you
do their jobs.
If you go into the Ebola patients, there's actually been the case of the Liberian man who, I believe his cousin, argued that he didn't get the equal medical treatment as the other patients did.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, he was sent away, but I mean, here's what we have to ask here. It's been a widely debated issue. Do we put a travel ban? I mean,
well, let's say we do. I feel like airlines are going to lobby the hell out of it because they're going to lose a lot of money from that travel ban.
Yeah.
There's thousands of flights from Africa to North America. If we decide to ban that, or basically ban it so we can't travel, I feel like airlines are going to say something.
There's actually a case in Europe right now too. I believe it was in France or Spain. It's one of those two countries. It was at St. Jose's Hospital. They have.
May have been Spain.
Probably Spain.
Probably. Yeah, I'm
Spain.
assuming that's Spain with a name like that.
Yeah.
The French don't have names like that.
I just remember the name.
There we
go. But they had the first patient, and it's actually scaling the Spanish right now.
Is that the Spanish nurse I keep hearing about? There was a Spanish nurse I heard about.
Yeah,
I think
it's probably that.
And what's this now is the government has been doing a really shoddy job over in Spain. It's been slowly deteriorating the past few years. And because of that, they didn't really do a good job quarantining or making sure that Ebola didn't come over to their country. It's been, their healthcare has actually been really abysmal the past few years.
Well, I guess Republicans would say that's due to the fact that they are using Obamacare. So, but I mean, with the travel ban, I mean, that's what Republicans are trying to run on. But going back to kind of the midterms, what is their strategy? Okay, let's say they get control of the Senate. What are they going to do? They don't have the ability to pass repeal of Obamacare because they don't have enough, like you were saying, they don't have enough power yet. They just have the majority leader. But at this time, I mean, what can they really do?
I'm sure they'll find a way to do something. Maybe scare tactics could be one method. Bashing Obama. Yeah. Trying to.
Whatever the government does right now with Ebola or any future dilemmas this country or the world's gonna have, it's gonna affect how the next election for the president will be. And whatever happens now till then. If the government does something that the people doesn't like, the probability, I'm just speaking on my opinion, but probability for a Republican candidate to be the next president is highly likely. Because now, right now, if you look at the midterms, the the Senate, I mean, of course, there's some governors, senators that are retiring in their terms, but now most of the Democrats that are trying to squeeze into these seats are getting affected by the fact that the Democratic Party and Obama are linked, and what they're doing for these last 6 years is affecting how the midterms are turning out too, because.
Well, I mean, voter turnout for Democrats have traditionally always been extremely low.
Well,
I mean, that's something, that's why, I mean, Democrats have always had, you know, the get up the vote parties where they have the world's best rock stars.
Parade.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean,
they had to do something entertaining for them.
Yeah, something that kind of brings them out. I mean, now, do you guys think that, now personally, I think that they should have put more money and focus into those type of events rather than the strategy of avoid Obama. I mean, what do you think? I mean, President Obama, yes, I understand his approval ratings are lower than some.
He's had a 44% approval rating and a 56% disapproval rating right now.
Yeah, that's not good for any president. But I mean, even with that, I mean, he's still a great communicator.
He's still a very charismatic man, very powerful speaker. And that's his biggest strength. I feel like he's able to communicate with the Democrats and Democratic people and people he wants to vote to vote for him.
And he's still the party's biggest fundraiser.
That's true.
I mean, he can draw people out. This is something where we're looking at, if Democrats aren't energized enough to come out and vote, which is the big problem that they always have.
And that's an extremely big factor, just the fact that you want someone that's charismatic, someone that can talk. You think about, even back then, Nixon, JFK debate. When they debated on radio, people thought Nixon won it. But if you watched it on TV,
Nixon was very nervous.
JFK, people would say JFK killed it.
That classic sweat.
Yeah, the way he stuttered.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
The way JFK paraded himself, he did a really good job communicating throughout the whole debate.
He really did, and that was like...
I feel like that's a powerful weapon, the fact that you communicate well. Even if you don't know what you're saying, if you're able to talk well, and just try throw something out there, it will still have an effect on people.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. The communication is key, but I kind of think that it only works for the first 2 years of the first term.
Okay.
Only reason being is if you look at Obama or anyone, FDR, if you look at FDR when he did the fireside chats with the radio, it actually helped Americans get insight into what the government was. So he was telling the people, you know, kind of comforting words, and he was actually doing his actions. I'm not sure you're going to do that. Your communication is only going to stretch so far.
I mean, another factor that I've seen, we haven't talked about is the fact that even if his communication is done well, will the person that opposes him, will he be a better presidential candidate than Obama? I mean, let's say Obama communicates well, but he's all bark no bite.
Which we've seen a whole lot in this term. I mean, while I personally believe he's made a lot of accomplishments.
Would his opposing candidate be better or not? That's another factor we should have put in, considering.
Well, I believe there's 3 factors for Obama's voting for the last 6 years, his first 2 terms. The three cards. There's always the racial card, which we've all seen. Some people.
It's the elephant in the room. People don't want to talk about, but it's there.
It's there. Yeah.
It's there.
We know it's there.
Yeah. Eric Holder got in trouble for saying it. I mean, it's one of those things that
I feel like we shouldn't be afraid to say it. It's true.
Yeah.
Everyone has known this for years.
Yeah. I applaud the president for what he has said when he has stated, you know, that there's a lot of African Americans out there who voted before.
I don't feel like it's a problem to say. I mean, it's there. It's something that's going to be talked about. You might as well.
And it is, in fact, a two-way street. It's not necessarily a race way where it's just going straight negative, but there was reasons why people voted because he was black.
Exactly.
So, I mean...
Well, I mean,
I was very effective for him.
Well, the more honest, I feel like the more honest the top dog, the leader, the president, is more honest with the people and give more insights to them, he's going to gain the trust even more, even if he's not doing so well. Obama's tried that with his administration. He's trying to open it up. I believe it was
He's opened it up all right. Have you heard of the NSA? He's opened those channels up pretty wide, but.
Well, I mean, he's trying. He's trying, even though.
I mean, I just don't feel like that's NSA was necessarily all his problem. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's taking the heat, even though it was before him.
Yeah, I mean,
because we realized what it was when he was in term,
Yeah.
and then we're just going to put the heat on him. But I mean, the NSA is still.
Well, there's the second.
big
There's
deal.
the second card. It's from Bush to Obama. The party.
The transaction.
The transaction party.
Transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it brought. I understand what you're saying.
So that's the second card. The third card.
Is this a wild card?
No.
That would be something.
That would be something, but the third card would be, it's a card that it's not used, it's informational based, fact based. What, for the second term when they were voting Obama versus Mitt Romney, they looked at what does Mitt Romney what would he do if he was president? And many people agreed that because he was a businessman, he would get the entire budget and pretty much do what a businessman does equally, you know, make it sensible. Now that would have actually destroyed the United States economy and the international economy if he did that in a way that we can't recover from it. We were already in a recession, I believe, back then. So, would you like to take a chance with Mitt Romney where he would do that, or would you keep the current president, which was Obama? Now, you don't have much choice there because it's one way or another. You don't really have a third major party that you can vote, you know, where everyone actually.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I mean, we're a two-party system. I mean, we claim to be
one day. Hopefully,
system.
one day we'll have a closing factor.
A credible one. Yeah, I mean, independent would be a nice one, but
independent.
I mean, what
party?
This is something that Republicans have been doing this whole entire midterm election. It's literally been a race between Republicans versus Obama. Not Republicans versus Democrats in this election, but Republicans versus Obama.
If you look at it, it sounded like Purdue was the narrator, while it was basically saying Michelle Nunn is Obama's senator, not yours, and it was stating that it was an audio clip from Obama saying if Michelle Nunn won, it would be good for the Democrats in the Senate. It would help them. So what Obama was saying in that audio, it was true. It would help the Democrats if she won, by far. Now, when it was saying Michelle Nunn is Obama's senator, not yours, that's kind of saying some people would look at it kind of from Republican view. I believe they would probably criticize and say, yeah, it's true. Democrats, liberals might say, well, that's debatable. Well, that advertisement kind of got me what he was trying to say in the clip, constantly pointing at Obama. And I think that's what the Republicans have been trying for the last 6 years, saying Obama this, Obama that, oh look, here's...
Put it into a negative, make it a negative connotation.
Well, here's what I don't understand is this. I mean, what is so bad about the policies? Now, I try, of course, y'all know, to be as unbiased as possible. But what I just can't seem to wrap my head around is why is it a bad idea for women to receive the same amount of pay as men? Like, why is that a negative?
Well, I don't think there is a negative to that.
I mean, that's part of the Obama policies that they're talking about. I don't understand.
There is no negative, but I can tell you this.
What's a negative?
Well, yeah, what is a negative?
There is no negative. It's just that...
there is no negative?
There is no negative, but there's a view, I've heard from many social people, because everyone's in part of the social media. There's parts where saying, an argument a male was trying to say...
Of course it's a male.
Of course it's a male. We're not trying to be sexist here, but this is what I read. He was stating that women want equality plus the advantages of having a gentleman in your life. So basically, treating them equally, but a little bit better.
Okay.
So keeping.
That's a fair assessment.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, yes. Ethics require us, most gentlemen, hopefully, and there's more than most.
I would hope so. Yeah. You'd be surprised.
Yes, you would.
You'd be surprised.
You really would. I come across. If more more men were more gentle.
Real characters.
Get as many dates as
I met some real characters.
That's true.
One of the other fears are ISIS. It's.
Didn't someone say that ISIS might be coming to the U.S. or people are afraid that ISIS bring their terrorist actions towards the U.S.?
Yeah, and
I feel
actually they
ridiculous.
did.
I feel it's ridiculous. I don't think it's going to happen anytime.
Absolutely not. I mean,
we're more prepared. Hopefully, because I've been spending a whole lot of money on Homeland Security. I'm just saying, my taxes are going somewhere, right?
I hope they would be in use.
I mean, right? Yeah, exactly. We shouldn't have 9/11 twice. That should not happen.
And it won't happen.
And we just finished the Twin Tower build.
And speaking of that, it's open.
They just opened it. I hope, for love of God, they don't attack the Twin Towers again for another terror.
It's pretty surreal. It's opening.
I don't know.
I don't think
I'm never going in there. But I mean, with that, let's say it was a credible threat. There has not been a single. Republicans aren't there saying Democrats have failed. I was listening to NPR, or not NPR, I was listening to CNN. Lord knows I shouldn't be doing that, but I did it anyway. But I mean, I was listening to it, and they had a Republican strategist on, and they're asking, hey, what are you guys going to do about the ISIS threat? You guys are, criticizing the president on how Democrats are handling ISIS. And literally what he said was just a list of Obama's failures. Literally all he did is, well, what the president didn't do is what the president did.
About ISIS, what about his unemployment?
It's like, honestly, we need to know, because if I'm going to vote for someone, that's why, and I heard that before I voted, and that kind of solidified my vote in saying, I'm going to vote for the people who I know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are going to do. All I know is what you guys say you shouldn't do.
I don't feel like ISIS is an extreme threat or
for now. For now.
Yeah, all they've done is behead people and show us.
Same thing for the Taliban.
Yeah. They're throwing their clothes at us. They're
Actually, that's actually not too far off. They really haven't done much more than Al Qaeda has. All they've done is shown us. They're just a social media giant. There's no real difference between the two organizations.
I mean, to be honest, their production value of their videos are pretty good. They're pretty monsters. They're terrible people, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
I feel like the quality of their videos is the reason why they're so widespread.
Yeah, I mean they know how to edit more better than Mike does.
Well,
now the only thing,
besides that point, I feel like they aren't a credible threat yet. They haven't done anything to attack the American people directly.
Exactly.
Except for maybe criticize and hate the Jews.
Which
they actually did. No, if you look at
Megan Fox did that, so
well, everyone. I mean, you can see a lot of people done that.
The one thing
that didn't get worse. I mean,
exactly. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
I know.
So actually, the ISIS people, members in the United States, they actually celebrate Hitler Youth Week.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those minor things. Back to the Republican strategist. Republican strategist. Now you would have, if you brought a Democratic strategist, this is what he would say. For the border patrol and border controls, between the United States and Mexico, Democrats as you know, they've had a hard time trying to pass a certain budget to prevent illegals coming in through Mexico. The Democrats gave what the Republicans want, but the Republicans aren't going to vote on it because they know that the majority of the Republicans will vote and say, pass the bill. This is what we need. This is what we asked for. What they're doing now is stalling so that, hey, look, Obama's leading us right now. So, for my opinion, would be they're trying to wait till the next presidential election when they have a Republican president and then pass it.
Do you think President Obama is going to compromise if there's a GOP Senate?
I feel like he should keep his stance, stay strong. I mean, I'm all for compromise, to be honest. I feel like Republicans and Democrats should find compromise for what issues they face. But I feel like Obama,
it's taking too long to make him compromise.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of
stand by his principles. I feel like Obama's trying to stand by his principles. He should stay strong, considering what the Republicans have constantly attacked him.
Well, this is a very similar situation to what happened with Clinton.
Okay.
When Republicans took both control of both houses. I mean, Clinton was forced to compromise, and look what happened. I mean, What's the worst that can happen when you compromise between two
Well,
parties?
To be fair, Quentin had the internet boom, which kind of helped him.
There's no getting around that one.
I mean, and he did, what was that? Was it Seagate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Seagate.
Yeah, Seagate. He shut that down, or he stopped that. That's a really important thing that we kind of need now.
And to be kind of honest, I don't think Monica Lewinsky kind of hurt either in those backroom meetings.
Oh yeah, backroom meetings.
Hey, Bill, I heard about Monica.
Let's not do that.
Well, guys, I just want to make sure we understand it was a one-time thing.
Well,
no strings attached.
I know.
Back toward the midterm, all this is building up to the presidential election.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be a great one. It's gonna be an intense one.
I believe.
Oh my gosh, Hillary. After this is over, she's gonna announce.
Oh,
that's gonna be something right there. I'm looking forward to that. I thought about that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was actually gonna bring up that point for Hillary. I feel like some parts of her are acceptable. Like some people are gonna like her because she's been on the political system, you know, been active in it.
She's extremely qualified. She's one of our most, qualified candidates. If there's anyone who's supposed to be qualified, she would. She's been in the White House before. She's worked on healthcare. She's been in the Senate. She's Secretary of State.
The president.
And she was pretty much co-president too.
I'm sure she has some experience because of that.
Exactly.
But then now there's some people who argue there shouldn't be another Clinton era.
And you know what?
And those people are.
They're the ones that want. Another 4
Those
years.
are more politically incorrect people.
Yeah.
Same
they're
thing
still
with the Bush eras. Same thing with the Bush era.
Now that I do not want. The Bush era ended in 2008, and I am fine with that.
Never again. Never forget.
Never forget. Yes, never forget.
I believe there's another Bush in Florida. I believe, right?
Jeb Bush was the governor, but what do you got? Here's something. This is pure speculation. We don't really have to go into it that long, but just what do you think her VP is going to be? Honestly, we keep hearing this whole Clinton versus Warren thing. Honestly, I think we should remove the verses. Clinton, Warren, 2016.
Pretty nice.
That'd be nice.
First female president and vice president. Now, that'd be something.
What happened though?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Whether her chances. Oh, Gore. What if she brought Gore back?
Dude, that'd be a wild card.
That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That really would.
Well,
but I feel like if you want a vice president that's a woman, and a president woman, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
That's never happened before. But I don't want having a female president.
Well, then
it'd be like if Obama had chosen Eric Holder as his vice president.
That'd be pretty cool. And it will show how well feminism has developed over years.
We would have completely shattered that glass ceiling.
There are females that are against feminism.
Not against it, they just don't agree with it.
No, they don't agree with it, but they're sort of, well, we don't want to be, if we want equality, same thing, equality, the one we discussed earlier, is because it's the issue between, you want equality, then you have to lose the feminism. Then,
yeah, because
if you want to be equal, you have to drop it.
Yeah, because what you said before, feminism is equality plus gentlemen.
Yeah.
I understand that. What you're trying to say.
Yeah, but
it only should be in the workplace. Now you're arguing about if you want equality, that's through politics, law, and payroll. That's what you want. Equality in that, not in actual. In actual outside in the social realm.
Women should be paid the same amount as men. But,
I agree.
But that's all the time we have, guys. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode. It's been great speaking with y'all tonight. Once again, this is Regal Politics. Have a great night.